1, 2, 3, action. This is the first podcast episode of Couch Pilgrim, and I'm here with, I want you to introduce yourself, give them the whole rundown. This is your platform now.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is LouE. I'm a producer based in Palm Bay, Florida. I'm from Quebec City, Canada, so I'm French-Canadian. Long story short, I've been doing music for 20 years now, playing guitar for 20 years. I sing. I know for some strange reason how to play drum without actually ever practice it or learn it. And yeah, we're here in Melbourne trying to build a certain community, a label that we could call a co-op label. So we want to put ourselves between the regular indie and artists, which is kind of the route where everybody is going now. You know, everybody needs to learn their own thing, do their own thing from A to Z. Everybody still would dream about the label, you know, the big label funds and that tag that gets to you when you're like, hey, I'm signed now, you know. So that kind of goal that we all get. But I think that in between those two is a very crucial part that we're missing, which is the community, you know. And at the end of the day, we're all trying to make music. I don't want to see it as a competition. I try to see it as a cooperative where everybody has talent and everybody has different source of inspiration and goals as well. So our goal is to make a co-op label in which everybody there learns things that will help the whole gang of musicians and artists, but I also will teach them to everybody else. So we want to learn how to, you know, not be taking advantage of financially. We want to learn how to promote our ideas from A to Z, how to look on stage, even how to dress up sometimes, you know, like it's not because, you know, some of us have good talent and there's little things that are harder than others, like I know how to sing, but sometimes on stage I don't really know how to move.
Yeah.
So
you said a big word, and I think the key word is community.
Yeah.
So obviously you just gave a whole list of things that you hope the community provides, but what would you say you hope to bring to this community? As far as blossoming musicians,
mm-hmm.
what do you see yourself doing as a contributor to like elevate everything you're hoping for here?
It's sure that the first thing that we're trying to do is to build a physical platform, like we're building the studio right behind my house here in Palm Bay. So we're building a studio, and the way that we built it, we're thinking about having certain type of lounge in it and a little mezzanine that, you know, if you don't want to spend your whole day in the booth, you want to have some space, you want to chill, hang up there, have a mic, a little unplugged session, but also more in a personal route. What I really intend to do is, like, as a producer, I'm trying to be very certain of my taste and certain of what I like, and agree that some artists might not need me as a producer, but I still want to build a platform so that they can find other producer in which we can all work at the same place. So it's not like I want to be the guy. It's just I want to be there when things are happening.
Yeah,
you know,
You're
exactly.
the hub. You're the guy that you're that centerpiece. You're the plug. You're
the plug. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I'm the sound plug.
Hell yeah, man. So, I guess the first thing we need to talk about where we are right now.
Exactly.
You want to introduce this spot?
Absolutely, yeah. I come here every morning for kava teas and kratom tea. This place is called Kraken Teas. It's a very cool place. Again, very based on the community. Everybody here has a very mature sense of relations. You know, everybody here listens to everybody. There's a place where a lot of foot traffic. Yeah, and every morning we have our little gang that we call the Breakfast Club. But I've always wanted to build certain type of partnership with a place like a kava bar, and they're allowing me to. We're rebuilding the stage inside, just so that we can leave some instrument. I'm trying to build kind of more of a live production scene. The goal is to do the open mic that I host every Tuesday. And every Tuesday from 8 to 11 at Kraken Tea, come to open mic. And that's really, I'm trying to make it a little different than other places where I know a lot of beat producer, a lot of rappers, a lot of shows, even though I'm more of a rock band kind of guy. I did most of my beginning career as like more in rock. But I would love if people could just come and play their beats. So you don't need to sing. Yeah. Just like put your laptop, plug it in, start the beat, and maybe like two guys are gonna be, hey, I'll do that first verse. Hey, I'll do the second verse. Hey, and the girl's like, hey, I'll do the hook. Cool. Now your beat is finished. You know, and sometimes just having the opportunity to do that, or even if people wants to come and freestyle, you know, or just on random
so
like.
It sounds like you're really you're really bringing back jam sessions.
Yeah.
Live, like it just seems like, yeah, man, anyone is open. Like, so you treat the open mics not like a karaoke in a sense where, yeah, obviously people perform their own music, but more so, this is just a free space for creators to just come in and just bring what they want, or just tap into what they
and
like.
ask the people there, like, you know, sometimes as musician and producer, we're so close to it that, you know, we hear the little details, but the consumer doesn't really care about all these things. The consumer doesn't care about your mastering, doesn't care about how low end, you know, like how does it feels to you. And then if we find a way where the people and the Patreon of the place can be like, hey, yeah, I like that about your song, even it's hard to comment on things you don't know, but just have an actual place to get good comments and ways that, you know, people could grow from it, you know.
So what type of music would you say? I mean, you clearly just said you listen and you tapped into everything, but on a day where you get to just be a free flow DJ, what are you playing? And you don't have to go into like specific song titles, but like genre.
No.
What's your go-to set list look like?
Okay, I mean, like, just because of some of the DJ nights I did here, they try to do some thematic themes. And we had one party that was 2016 party, and I just had to find all these tracks. And it's funny because for me, you know, like I'm not that old, but for me, I'm thinking old school is the 90s rap, you know, and then 2000, it's like those big club songs by 50 Cent, everybody. Then it was like 2016, what is it? And then I just went through all the shit that dropped that year.
Wow.
It's insane, and it really had a sound. We're like, now we feel like, hey, like there used to be eras of music, you know, while the 80s were like either new waves or fucking long hair rock, you know. And then we're like, what is that? But I think just that year, that theme of like, kind of just like, it's, I don't want to say party rock, but there's a kind of mix between rap music and the rock kind of effervescence that we had in the 80s.
It wasn't just rap. Or it wasn't just pop. No, it was like all of them.
It was,
everyone, like, it was just put on a playlist, and I promise you'll get different genres. But it all fits
the inspiration, and that's what I love also a lot. Like, so my answer to your question would be always either like some good trap hip hop and like and hip hop and techno. Sorry, I love like I'm a big fervent I'm a fan of Dead Mouse, Canadian, absolutely. Our favorite Canadian. But yeah, I think that what I love the most about music, and especially the era we live in, is that people have a large knowledge and library and like connaissance of different genre, you know, and people went deep in different roots of different, and now you're making music or using this up to the flavor of today. So now with everything, with the technology we have music wise and the sound that we're able to make now that nobody before us could make, you know, but it's great to have that, and all those tools are great, but because of that I feel most people are losing the actual essence of music, you know. So I that's what I love about the new generation of music that I love, especially like we said, especially with rap, is that there's it's a mix of highly knowledgeable techniques mixed with a very refined choice of inspiration, you know. So and mixing those two together is magical to me.
Awesome, bro. That actually, you know, you hitting all the PowerPoints, bro. You already knew what I was here to say. So I guess leading with that, just going off and dealing with that, coming from Quebec and coming to Brevard County, because it's drastic cultural shifts. How do you feel in the direction that Brevard's music is growing? Because clearly you've met a bunch of artists. Just by being a DJ, you've definitely met a bunch of artists. What sounds are you hearing from here? Anything, you know, it's you know, like
from here especially. Yeah,
like specifically in Brevard County, are there certain sounds that you kind of feel like, because you just said listening in 2016, it was like, in that moment you didn't realize the sound it was until you went back to it. So are you hearing that here now? Like
that's a good question, and it forces me to think a little bit about it. But the first thing that came to my mind, and it might be hard to explain, but I think the first word I have in mind is classy.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I realized is most of you guys and the guys that rap with me, like by decision or just by artist development, like some of you guys chose to never swear in your song.
Yeah.
You know, that's like that to me is like, okay, cool. And then I listen a lot of good R&B.
Yeah.
A lot of good, and like guys that, you know, like that makes it so, guys and girls, that makes it so like that what R&B is really about. And it's no longer about, and I think, you know, with hip hop, that's kind of always been a controversy between like skin colors and such. But I think that with R&B, there's that kind of openness that makes everybody feels like, hey, this is music that I can relate to in a beautiful way. Exactly, really about the sound and again the community, and like you can listen to it and it feels like, hey, I want to support that artist too, you know. So I feel a lot of that like classy in the terms of like we get to do something eccentrical, we get to do something like big. Sound-wise, I heard a lot of that kind of, I think there's a lot of rock here, and that's what I realized. There's a lot of bands, there's a lot of rock, and some guys that sounds like, what are you doing here, man? Like you should, you know, so the talent is here. And I think that also that the people are kind of willing to mix here between, you know, like certain genres. So I think that the direction it's going to go is really the kind of like, and yes, I hope that one day there's something like the Melbourne sound.
Yeah.
You know, that's my dream.
Yeah.
That's the way that it'll be like, you know, or just an approach to music, you know?
Yeah. Well, if anything, you're the most tapped in my opinion, only because by being a DJ, you get to hear all the sounds circulating and you get to help push those sounds, bro. Like just because like you can really hear something that you truly believe in, and you're like, bro, next chance I get, you can spin it. Like there's no one preventing you.
It's funny because even though I've been a DJ for a long, like maybe 15 years, I've realized that it's the first time that I'm actually doing like what great DJs like Armin van Buuren and such started being DJs for, and it was just to get the chance to play their friends' demo in clubs, you know.
That's what I envision as a DJ, like personally, because I know you see my turntable.
Yeah.
I'm from the mixtape era, bro. I'm from the
vinyls
and like just when CDs were becoming obsolete and MP3s were like the thing, you had to download your own music. You know, downloading all sorts of music. I wasn't downloading full body albums. I was downloading songs that I liked. So I had to like curate, like and I had an iPod Shuffle. You know,
man.
You couldn't see what you were playing. You just had to hit play, just let it run, just skip.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like skipping. So, you know, like
I remember that's what you mean with Shuffle.
You couldn't see what you were playing. And
that's cool.
With that, you know, like
different appreciation.
Yeah, I had a different appreciation on how sequencing was for me. Like how songs come in right after, and there will be moments where it's like you have this high energy song, and you have this low energy song, and depending on the wrong songs, you're But then there's moments where it can be a slow song right after, but you're still. It was just. It's not too low. Just low enough.
But that's true. Like that's one thing that's very. You can do a lot of parallels with DJing.
Yeah.
Because you know even the music itself and most music, if you want a little tip, like most melodies are based on question answers. So like whatever melody you do, like if I stop there, it's like. Right?
Oh,
But if I go answer. Okay, right?
I see that.
Or you can call it tension, release. So like in techno, best example, you had a and then release. You know? So the same thing happens with the energy of the crowd during a whole night or the energy of the listener throughout an album. If you don't find places to just drop it, you can't push the energy constantly up. It doesn't work like that, you know?
Dang.
So that just dropping a little bit at the right time, and sometimes like having the good energy at first to drop a song that's a little more mellow, but it still has a lot of like chakras, let's say, is the best moment because you're like, oh yeah, I needed that break, but that like now that I'm out my feels, this one kind of suits me a little more.
Heck yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like we covered everything that I really wanted to get out of you because you definitely.
Dude, we could speak like this for hours, and you know.
Yeah, I know you can. Man. But let me just pull out my phone because I got
and like right away, you know, like whenever you want to come and do this at the studio, we'll be open in 2 months. So.
So that's real quick. Yeah, talk about.
So the label. That's the time to plug it. So we're building a studio here in Palm Bay, a pretty sizable comfortable barn-looking studio. We try to keep the price fair, and we'll try to bring it in different tiers so that you just want to come once in a while. That's it. You'll have the normal price with a low interest in terms of royalties. But the more you come, we can make you a pre-signed artist or a signed artist, which will drop your hourly rate considerably. We'll just ask for a little bit more royalties to show that we have interest in building your project. But for all of these steps, our goal is to not just build you, let's say demo wise, but let's say every artist that comes for a certain amount, again with the tiers, will make it so that you have your kit, your press kit, so that it will come a photo shoot, at least one good music video for one of your songs. So even if you're a cover band here in Melbourne, I'm sure you have one song that's yours, or you just want to come and record one of those songs that you slay, and you can send that to other places to get gigs. Come check us out. We are called Chrome Records, KHROME Records, and you can always hit up Ant. I'm sure he is going to be in contact with us anytime. But yeah, feel free to come by. We'll be happy to see people.
So I think we're going to conclude here, and I just want you to just do one more shout out, whatever you need to say. Please plug where they can find you, who you are, and all that other stuff. And then I'm going to say the closing arguments, and then I'm going to get my footage inside.
Sweet, man. Cool. You can find me personally on Instagram at _Canadiator. You can find Instagram for the studio and the website at Chrome Records, KHROME Records. And I would also like to plug in Kraken Cover Bars here on Malabar Street in Palm Bay. Cool place to come and listen to some music, try your own beats, try to have fun, or just come and have a great time with good people.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you for your time. Alright, this has been Couch Pilgrim, and shout out to Canadiator and Kraken and everything else that's going on, man. Chrome Records.
Yeah, man.
Alright, hell yeah.